Today we're going to be discussing the boxer stance. Our stance is one of the most critical and most important elements we can make sure we get right when it comes to boxing. We want to get this right from a foundational standpoint because if our foundation is right, it allows us to build on top of a solid platform. The fighter stance in boxing is all about balance, right? Balance is our state of equilibrium, our state of equality, our state of harmony, our state of zenness. It's our state of when everything is in sync. And when those things are aligned, it makes everything else flow a lot better. So I'm going to be talking predominantly from an orthodox standpoint, which means I'm boxing predominantly right-handed, but my left foot is going to be in front and my rear foot is going to be behind me. If I'm a southpaw, just the opposite. My right foot, right leg is going to be in front and my rear leg is going to be off to the back. But no matter which stance I choose to box in, the core foundational principles of the stance remain unchanged. I'm going to give you an analogy. Many of us have probably seen or witnessed in person or watched on TV during the Olympic trials or track meet. When you see when a sprinter gets ready for a race, they start in what's known as the runner's block. It's that device they use when they start the race where their back foot is in this little device and their front leg is free here. And they're in a staggered position where when the gun goes off, the rear leg comes through, the hips are clean, and they can get out of the race and run their race, right? We have to ask ourselves, is there a reason why that device, which is meant to help the sprinter get off to a good start, why isn't their rear leg placed behind their front leg, like so? Have you ever thought about that? Even with me standing here for about 5 seconds now with my rear leg directly behind my front leg, I'm having a hard time maintaining my balance because the rear leg is not staggered, it's not off to the side. The rear leg is staggered to allow the runner to be able to explode out of the block. The hips are free and they can take off. That same principle with using a staggered stance applies to boxing. So a staggered stance I have here, this is a floor compass here. We have a little small 4x4 box, but it has a line right down the middle, right? And that line is my reference point that I use to make sure that I am staying balanced in my stance. I can feel pretty quickly if my back foot comes over here close to my front foot, but it's a visual reference point to use to make sure that my stance is in order. So my back foot is staggered off the center line from my front foot, and my weight distribution is about 60% on the rear leg, 40% on the front leg. So I'm heavier weighted on the rear. That way it helps me to sit down. My hips are down. I maintain my balance point. My stance is staggered. And now I have a solid foundation of my boxing stance. If I go southpaw, again, same principle applies. That reference point is between my legs down the center. My weight is still 60% on the rear, 40% on the front. So a good balance ratio, and I am balanced. No matter if I change directions. So I'm going to show from this standpoint. So I'm going to face this way. And say if I make a change, I make a pivot or a turn, and I turn back to my right. Even when I turn around, I'm going to land in my correct stance. No matter which direction I turn, I'm going to maintain that stance. I'm going to maintain that position. That position of my legs being staggered apart from each other allows me to move backwards quickly, move forward quickly, move to the side quickly, all directions, because my stance is correct. If my stance is not correct, it gets hard to move in the correct manner. So the stance is critical. The main points of the stance being balance.